Well, here we are on the 25th day of February 2009, and as I said, we're probably headed into an election here in this province anyway in the next little while. And I would like to, I know people will probably come to the conclusion that I've got no love for politics and politicians. Well, I come across that quite easy in my lifetime, and I'm 60 years old, and now that I've gotten to a certain point in my life and I had the opportunity to reflect back, as many other baby boomers will when they retire, they'll see what I see. I don't have any pride in my country anymore. I lost that in the past probably 15, 20 years. It's gone from a country of where we thought we were going to have some hope and pride to a country that basically is stained with the bloods of Canadian citizens, and I say this quite readily. In 1966 and 67, I was based at CFB based Gagetown. I did my basic training there, and I was with the Royal Canadian Dragoons. And in 1966 and 67, I, along with many other citizens and military, the Green Hornets from Britain, were covered with Agent Orange. And I didn't realize what was taking place at the time until probably 3 or 4 years ago when CBC happened to air a story on it, and I realized that I was one of the lab rats on the ground at the time. And I started remembering back to those days. And I can remember the taste of the chemical and everything in my mouth now quite vividly. So that was done to me at that time by the minister. The minister of the day for the National Defense was Paul Hellyer, and he was a part of the Liberal Party at that time, the Liberal government. So here's the way I look at that situation. In 1966 and 67, the Liberal Party of Canada, who happened to be the governing party, tried to poison Canadian military and British military, along with civilian personnel around the perimeters of base Gagetown in New Brunswick. So is that something a Canadian citizen should be proud of, that their tax dollars was used to try to poison and test toxic herbicides on their own citizens? No. In 1968, friends of mine were with the PPCLI at Suffield, Alberta. The Canadian government, once again under the governance of a political party, used mustard gas on Canadian soldiers. That's nothing to be proud about as a country, is it? I don't think so. The next scandal that I can remember in my lifetime was the tainted blood scandal. That was done under the eyes and the knowledge of a political party. That blood was brought into this country. It contaminated the bodies of thousands of Canadian people. That's nothing to be proud about, to want you to be proud about your country. In 1983, I happened to be working offshore Newfoundland. Something happened on the regular rock, the wave hit it, I don't know, or a supply boat bumped it, knocked me off the side of the crane, down over a handrail in 25 feet, caused damage to my neck and my back. It's been a battle since 1983 I have my problems, which I am not about to get into, but I was screwed out of a compensation by a political party who uses the workman's compensation system to cause harm and abuse me. That's nothing to be proud about as a Canadian citizen. And I'm one of thousands of people who were in the workforce, who were injured on the job, who are being abused by government legislation. And that government legislation came into birth because a political party drafted it up and passed it into law to screw and destroy the lives of injured people who just happen to be injured on the job. That's nothing to be proud about. As a Canadian citizen, I don't think so. So when I look at history as it reflects to me, 66, 67, a political party made sure that they used and tested Agent Orange on us at Base Gagetown. That was the Liberal Party. In 1968, another, once again, a political party used mustard gas on Canadian troops in Alberta. And then we had the tainted blood scandal, which was a political party knowingly let that come into this country. And a political party in every province in Canada and the federal government know that injured workers from coast to coast to coast are being abused. So, what are my options? I've tried to deal with the workmen's compensation system. Stephen Harper tells the public that every soldier who was stationed at CFB Gagetown in 66 and 67 that was directly connected into this so-called umbrella that is talking about is going to receive $20,000. That never happened. Okay, so he's a liar. That's a political party lying once again and misleading the public. They lied about the money that they were given the native community who were abused at those schools. We are letting political parties get into our life based on lies. And until we decide that we are going to take some kind of control here of our governing system, these political parties will destroy us each and every day. Now I know these are harsh words, but I look at a political party the same way as I look at a pedophile. A pedophile preys on children, the weak. Political parties prey on the taxpayers of this country. They pick our pockets with laws they drum up to extract or extort money out of us so they can put into a big pot and dole that money out to their friends. At the same time, they're telling us those monies are needed for our public infrastructure. Well, our health care is collapsing because there's no money to keep it up, because they've given all the money away to their business buddies. In Quebec right now, on the news today, a pension fund's lost 20% in collapse. Canada Pension is now starting to sink. It's lost $4 or $8 billion, something like that. This is all coming into play right now, and people should be very concerned about it. There's a lot of people out there over their working life that had built money up into these RRSP funds, coming due. Pension funds, Canada pension funds, are going to be welcomed by a host of baby boomers, coming due. These crooks that we elect, these political parties, are purposely destroying these pension funds that are in place right now, because there's no money in them to pay out. The money that you've invested in your pension fund into the future has been pickpocketed out of your pocket and has gone into the pockets of the CEOs' big bonuses, big wages. And if you want to correct it, once again, I'm just simply telling you this. It's not voting one party out and the other party in, because one crook's no different than the other crook. The time has come to stop supporting this goddamn political system. It's killing this country. It's robbing you blind. Trust me. When a politician knocks at your door, drive him off your property, because I'll tell you, if you don't keep your hand on your wallet, when he leaves, he'll have it in his hand going down the road. The NDP, the Liberals, the Conservatives, and the damn Green Party are all the same. They're looking at what they can pull out of your life that they can put in the pockets of themselves and their friends. The few. So it's time we all woke up to this and we took this thing in our hand. Think about it. Think about it, please. Start to think.